My dear viewers, welcome to BigForma, your window to the most fascinating and mysterious narratives that shape our world. Today we will dive together into a story that has spanned centuries, that of Aicha Kandicha, a legend surrounded by mysteries, magic, and mysticism. From Moroccan folklore to contemporary artistic expressions, this tale is a journey through time, culture, and the collective imagination. Stay with us to discover the many facets of this living enigma, where the boundary between myth and reality becomes as elusive as the mist. Prepare to be captivated, moved, and perhaps even to question what you thought you knew. It's here, on BigForma, that our adventure begins. Let's go further together. Twists and turns of Moroccan popular imagination, where tales and legends are passed down from generation to generation during family gatherings, one story stands out with particular intensity, striking minds and arousing a mix of terror and fascination. Have you ever heard of Aicha Kandicha? This legendary figure, terrifying and enchanting, haunts popular narratives and continues to fascinate. Since our earliest childhood, we have all been lulled by scary stories. Parents and nannies, in a move that was both educational and playful, never failed to tell us the adventures of this mysterious entity to channel our boundless energy. The goal? To replace our turbulence with docile obedience, all the while immersing us in the rich and complex universe of our cultural heritage. The legend of Aicha Kandicha is much more than just a simple story meant to scare children. It is an entire aspect of Moroccan culture, a symbol of the richness of our folklore, a testament to our ancestors' ability to explain the unexplainable, to give a face to our deepest fears. But who is Aicha Kandicha really? What mysteries and truths hide behind this legend? Aicha Kandicha, this enigmatic entity of Moroccan mythology, embodies the quintessence of the polymorphic figure. Ambassador of the djinns, a devilish creature mixing human and demonic traits, an adulterous woman with camel feet, or even a leader of resistance, Aicha, alongside her counterparts such as Boukencha, and Balagul, has fed the nights of terror of our childhood. These names, whispered in low voices, resonate like an echo in the darkness, reminding us of the nightmares that populated our nights. The legend tells that uttering her name might conjure her, making her emerge from rivers and desolate nooks where she resides, on the lookout for solitary men to bewitch and consume. Aicha Kandicha's aura is said to be so enchanting, so irresistible, that madness lurks for anyone who crosses her gaze or succumbs to her charm. No man, it is said, could resist her, captivated by an attraction as deadly as it is irresistible. But beyond the terror, these stories carry a deeper dimension. They reflect the complexities of our culture, where the boundary between the real and the imaginary is often blurred, where folklore intertwines with life lessons, warnings, and moral teachings. Aicha Kandicha and her accomplices embody the collective fears, taboos, and unspoken desires of a society, all the while serving as guardians of values and traditions. Through this exploration of the legend of Aicha Kandicha, we do not merely revisit the stories that rocked our childhood. We dive into the heart of a rich cultural heritage, where myths and legends become the mirror of collective psyches, revealing the fears, hopes, and dreams of a people. Who, then, is Aicha Kandicha? This question, as simple as it appears, opens the door to a labyrinth of mysteries and conjectures. Did she really walk the earth of our ancestors? Or is she merely the fruit of a fertile collective imagination, a mythical creation shaped by the centuries? The legend of Aicha Kandicha, this countess cursed by history, continues to haunt even the bravest of spirits. The mere mention of her name is enough to awaken a primal shiver, a testimony to the power of her imprint on our culture. Unraveling the true myth of Miss Kandicha resembles a Herculean quest, as versions of her story multiply, diverging and varying from one region of Morocco to another. Yet, despite this profusion of tales and fabrications, a thread of Ariadne seems to guide us through this maze. All agree to describe Aicha Kandicha as the undisputed sovereign of the Moroccan demonic pantheon. Her enchanting beauty, her supernaturally white skin, and her long black hair are traits inseparable from her image. According to the most persistent legends, she's said to have lived in the 16th century in the city of Mazagan during the era of Portuguese occupation. Could this tumultuous historical period, marked by conflicts and cultural exchanges, have given birth to such a legend? Is it in this crucible of history that the figure of Aicha Kandicha took shape, blending historical reality and fantastical elements to create a lasting one? Of the most captivating versions of the Aicha Kandicha legend transports us to the past, where the boundaries between worlds were as blurred as those between legends and reality. According to this ancestral narration, Aicha Kandicha was none other than a Lusitanian countess whose fate became inextricably linked to Morocco. The name Kandicha itself, a distant echo of the Portuguese word condessa, reveals the European origins of this mythical figure, transformed by the language and culture of the indigenous people. Her audacity was unparalleled. Aicha roamed freely through the narrow alleys of the Medina, dressed only in a dazzling white robe, defying norms and expectations. Her presence sparked admiration and envy. Her charm was such that it was said, whoever crossed her path was bewitched, to the point of plunging them into passionate madness. Her legend was born, nourished by her irresistible allure and her tragic love story, which transcended the ages. This version of the Aicha Kandicha legend immerses us in a narrative where love, captivity, and mystery intertwine, offering a unique perspective on the origins of this myth. She was a woman who defied conventions, a figure who crossed cultures and epochs, leaving behind a trail of mystery and enchantment. In another vein of our exploration of the Aicha Kandicha legend, we uncover a woman of an entirely different essence, a warrior of the heart and soul, born within a proud and indomitable Amazigh tribe from the Mazagan region. This version of the story tells us of a deeply Moroccan Aicha, whose life was upended by the tragic loss of her husband, cut down in the bloody clashes with Portuguese forces. She adopted the identity of a courtesan, using her beauty as a weapon to seduce Portuguese officers, luring them into the forest to eliminate them one by one. Her strategy, as bold as it was desperate, was an act of guerrilla warfare, a way to strike the enemy where they least expected it. But faced with Aicha's heroism and bravery, the Portuguese, intimidated and unable to counter her vengeance, chose to weave a web of lies around her. They spread the rumor that Aicha, whom they mockingly nicknamed La Condesa, was not a mere mortal, but a djinn, a demonic being. According to them, at night, she took the appearance of a young woman of enchanting beauty, with camel feet, and those who crossed her path seldom returned unscathed. This manipulation aimed to discredit Aicha, to transform her act of resistance into a terrifying legend, thereby dissuading anyone from following her example. But far from erasing her from collective memory, this strategy only anchored her story more deeply in the hearts of Moroccans, turning her into a symbol of resilience and struggle against oppression. Another facet of the legend reveals Aicha Kandicha not only as a figure of resistance, but as a leader of a bold guerrilla movement. Using her charms, she would bewitch Portuguese soldiers, luring them into the darkness to be handed over to her accomplices. This strategy of war, as old as humanity itself, took on a feminine face here, that of a woman determined to defend her land and her people. But repression soon followed. The occupier, in an act of cruel vengeance, had her lover and her family executed, plunging Aicha into a spiral of madness and rage. From a strategic warrior, she became a shadow of herself, an avenger wandering in the night, a symbol of struggle turned into personal tragedy. This evolution of her story made her enter into legend, becoming the Moroccan Llorona, mourning her losses and sowing terror. The legend of Aicha Kandicha, regardless of its version, transcends eras and continues to nourish the collective imagination. Her story resonates in Moroccan musical folklore among the Hamacha and the Gnawa, who pay tribute to her in their ritual songs, and even in popular culture, with bands like Jil Jilala dedicating songs to her. Her presence extends beyond music, influencing Moroccan literature and cinema, where she is sometimes a muse, sometimes a symbol of mystery and magic. Tahar Ben Jelloun and directors Ibrahim Chakiri and Jerome Cohen Olivar have each, in their own way, celebrated Aicha Kandicha, making her immortal through their works. This diversity of artistic expressions attests to the deep attachment to this complex figure, both mythical and taboo, which has become a jewel of Moroccan cultural heritage. For some, Aicha remains a children's tale. For others, she's a palpable reality, a presence believed to have been encountered around the corner of a dark street or in a whispering forest. And you, what do you think? Did Aicha Kandicha really exist? Time may have blurred the contours of reality, giving way to myth and legend. But one thing is for sure, the Condesa continues, and will continue for a long time, to fascinate, to inspire, and to provoke questions. My dear viewers, here we are at the end of our journey today on BigForma. Aicha Kandicha, more than just a legend, is a symbol of the richness of our cultural heritage, a bridge between eras and cultures, between the fears and hopes of a people. We hope this exploration has opened the doors to a world where mystery and reality coexist, inviting you to look beyond appearances and to question the stories that surround us. If this adventure has captivated you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BigForma to not miss any of our future explorations. Together, let's continue to search, to learn, and to marvel. Until next time, keep your curiosity awake and your mind open. See you soon on BigForma, where every story is an adventure.